left it full of furniture.
But if you thought I was living there, if somebody entered that apartment after I was gone and you thought I was there because you seen furniture.
But in our defense, when we go into a unit, even if we think it's abandoned, if you have bedroom furniture and living room furniture, we think
No, I took my bedroom set and I took the mattresses. I took what I could move. I moved myself personally. I moved myself out of that apartment. Didn't know, but I went and rented a U-Haul. I went and loaded that U-Haul truck alone. So I took what I could because I thought I had so much time to move on my own. I did this all alone because I didn't have the money to pay everything like the deposit. No one helped me with the deposit. All of my money went to the deposit to where I couldn't afford to get movers to move that stuff out of there.
We actually did have a moving company. I wish you would have contacted us.
So it appears there was some sort of miscommunication because she's saying that at the meeting they were told they weren't going to do that.
A lot of tenants used our movers, so I'm not sure because a lot of tenants used movers.
So what about the deposit that the relocation assistance states?
So what happens with relocation is if we're renovating, so this is kind of what HUD says, if we're going to renovate your building and we have to move you out because we're going to renovate your apartment, we pay for all those expenses. So we move you to the private market. We're going to pay everything to move you, your rent over here, and that has to be a comparable apartment.
Okay.
And then we're going to pay to move you back into that same apartment. In this case, because we weren't moving you back into your apartment, we were going to pay to move you wherever you had to go if you wanted that assistance, basically.
Yeah, of course I would have wanted. I would have wanted that.
A lot of tenants use our movers.
If I'm living in income-based housing, why wouldn't I want that assistance? Do you have record of any of the meetings that we had about?
Our resident services did that. The operations didn't do the moving, but
so
resident
I have to go
services
to them.
did.
No, I'm not saying the moving. The record of when we had to move, and
resident services did that. So that's that department of us. Of YMHA, I'm sorry.
Did they give them anything in writing that explained all this?
They sent out notices to the residents. Resident services did that.
You don't have a copy of that?
Operations does not. Okay. I didn't even get involved. Resident services.
So what would you have a copy of pertaining to that situation? Resident
services has all that.
So you don't have any information on the move?
I didn't keep copies of any of that. Resident services has all that, which would be Dom and Montero.
So what does operations do? What does
the operations, the management, the leases,
the paperwork?
Yeah.
For getting it settled?
Yeah, they did like all of the moving for the 214. We call it 214s, but just terminology.
Okay, so when you moved everyone else out, what happened with my unit? Like, what happened? What gave somebody the, thought that I was still there while everyone else was moving? Or why wouldn't nobody come and check to see if I needed moved out? If the last person just moved last month?
Well, you had a voucher. You were searching for the voucher. We didn't hear from you.
Exactly.
Your
so why
apartment
would you
still
charge
had
me
furniture
7
in
months?
it.
But you just said I had a voucher. Why would I still be there? And I left half the furniture on the curb because I couldn't get it. I couldn't get the rest of it.
I apologize. We do not know what you're doing unless you tell us. That's putting it simply. We do not know what your plans are unless you tell us. We do know you got a voucher. We did know that.
Did you see the expiration date on the voucher?
We do not know what you're doing with that voucher.
Okay, but there's an expiration date on that voucher.
So you
we don't know anything about your voucher.
You don't have knowledge of whether or not she's leased up with it?
No.
Okay.
All we know is she's in that public housing unit until she gives us possession. I had no idea she even ported to Trumbull County. Had no idea. Actually, Val reached out to me and said, hey, does she owe you money? And I thought, why is Val asking me this? And that's when I found out that she ported from Youngstown to Trumbull. But I don't follow vouchers.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Who's doing Section 8 at this point?
there is a temp manager from a professional agency called Nan McKay, Alicia Jones, and there is a posting out now for a housing choice voucher manager. I'm not sure if Human Resource has interviewed yet.
And what did you say her name was?
Alicia Jones. She's from the Nan McKay.
Yeah, they're trainers.
Oh, they're so good
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to have copies of their manuals, so that we
Oh
knew
my
what you guys
gosh.
were supposed to be doing. We don't have.
And they spell stuff out in very good terms.
All right, well, if you could look at that and see if we can come to some resolution, like I said, I think there's blame to go around, and most of it falls on the system that didn't work because of
Do you
COVID.
still talk